Hello and welcome to the Residential Property Awards. It's great to see them underway again. I'm starting this video report to introduce the awards at Bootham Green in York. This development is one of the many that have been considered for an award tonight. It also encapsulates many of the issues that have been looked at by the judges. There are eco-homes being built here to create a sustainable future. There's the issue of planning, there's new build, and also converting a Grade 2 listed building to regenerate a former school. There are also issues, of course, over financing. So I thought it would be good to talk to our panel of judges and ask them first to sum up the residential property market in Yorkshire in one phrase.
Booming. Exciting.
Re-engaging.
Active. Opportunity.
New communities.
On fire. Building Yorkshire. Quality. Yorkshire's happening.
So as you can see, according to our judges, things are looking positive. But I wanted more detail, so join me on my journey around the broad acres of this great county to speak to some of our sponsors. Yes, they helped to make tonight happen, but they're also experts in different property sectors. And where better to start than this current development in Horsforth on the outskirts of Leeds, being built by Redrow. Well, Help to Buy has obviously been a talking point in the residential marketplace. It's certainly been a factor here at this project in Horsforth, and I reckon it's going to continue to be a talking point as we look at the development of the market in the future.
The Help to Buy scheme has been very successful for Redrow as a business, and I dare say that of our competitors as well. Over the last couple of years in particular, we've generated sales in excess of 40% of new home sales by means of Help to Buy. So it's a great stimulus for the marketplace and certainly encouraging growth and future development as a result of that.
The first-time buyer market is very buoyant and strong at the moment. In the last 12 months, we've seen house prices rise by approximately 3%. And in the next 12 to 18 months, we don't see this changing significantly.
I'm delighted to say I've never been in this building before. The reason is if I'd been in this room quite a few years ago, I'd have been locked up for the night. These are the former cells at the former police headquarters here in the centre of Harrogate. Have a look at the beautiful facade outside. It was designed and built in 1927 and it's now being regenerated. It's a perfect example of how older buildings are having to be converted for newer apartments and houses. And just have a look at the price. This place has taken the record in Harrogate as Harrogate's most valuable building. The reason is it's selling for well over £500 per square foot.
I think to a certain degree we're looking at a market which is being subject to a large amount of pent-up demand for a good deal of time. And if you take an area like York or Harrogate, the number of planning permissions that have been granted over the last 10 years has been very small, and therefore any land that has secured planning permission within the last 18 months is going to attract a good deal of interest due to the fact that there is that demand that is lying there in the background.
Well, finding a site and planning issues is one thing. Finding the finance to help the development go ahead in the first place is another. And we're hearing that finance in Yorkshire is coming from a variety of different sources.
Well, we tend to be dealing in the higher end of the market, be that city centre or larger suburban developments. But interestingly, the city centre sector has seen a lot of foreign investment driving development. We're seeing investment from China, from the UAE, in regional cities that are known to foreign investors and where they can see capital appreciation as well as decent yields.
My sector, residential and housing sector, we're seeing a large rise in transaction volumes. When we first talked about the Residential Property Awards 2 years ago, transactions were recovering from the recession, but it's great to see that they're really increasing incredibly now at the moment. And we're seeing a lot of money coming in into the private rented sector as well as the house building side of things as well. Private rented sector, the money originally went to London a few years ago, we tend to see it go to Manchester, but there's a feeling both of those two locations are becoming increasingly hot. Therefore, other investors are looking at other provincial cities such as Leeds and Sheffield.
We do need to see more affordable housing in our country. We delivered 260,000 affordable housing units in the last Parliament. We built more council houses in our country than in the 13 previous years had been managed, but I recognise much more needs to be done.
Well, we need to see the houses coming through from the developers and the home builders. I suppose planning is stopping them building quite as fast as they would want to. The more houses that can be built can only then aid the strong demand that is there behind it for those houses.
So there you have it. A buoyant residential market, but plenty of challenges for the developers and the industry ahead.
There is a strong demand, there are issues regarding supply, so I think we need to loosen some of the red tape in the planning system, certainly get people into the industry from a trades point of view. There's a skills shortage out there. If we can address those issues, then I'm very confident going forward. There's certainly buoyant times ahead for the house building sector.
We've got good reason to celebrate. I think there's still a lot of hard work to do, and people need to be looking at the residential developments that they're creating. We've got to create places that people want to live, sustainable places, places with public areas as well as private areas. And we've really got to create places for people of the future. It'd be nice to see families living in the city centre more. So there's a lot still to do, but there's some great schemes online now.
That's just about it from me, other than to say you'll shortly be finding out who have won these prestigious awards. I'm sure you're going to have a fantastic night, but remember, this is in aid of Variety, the children's charity. They do incredible work around the Yorkshire region, and you need to dig deep in your pockets tonight to help them make it a huge success also. Bye for now.